Appreciate it. Thanks, awesome.
So don't just let me get it.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna get it,
Yeah, I'm the one to get it, bro. I swear to God, I'll get it, bro. Hey, I ain't never giving up. Yeah, I never give up. I got this and I got it. I will not quit, I'm on it. Never off it. Got the block that I'm toxic. Being logic, make them nauseous, honest. Can I stop?
This is where everyone gets it wrong.
Appreciate it. Thanks, awesome.
Lucha Voz is not a company. Lucha Voz is not a promotion. Lucha Voz is not just a show. Lucha Voz, it's an ideal. Lucha Voz, it's a dream. Lucha Voz, it's a goal. Lucha Voz, it's a heritage. Lucha Voz is cultura. Lucha Voz is our people. Lucha Voz is our wrestler, our family. Lucha Voz is our dreams. Lucha Voz is a journey of looking up to the sky and realizing that there is no limit, that you can go to toe-to-toe with the big dog and come out on top, that it can happen, that it will happen, show by show, city by city, fan by fan, match by match. Every single wrestler, every single championship, every single performance, every single experience, every single cheer from the crowd. We are Lucha Libre Voz. So join us on this journey. Follow us on social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and be part of this experience. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm DJ Voz from Lucha Voz, and we are the Lucha Voz experience. Ladies and gentlemen, attention Lucha fans, because we're back. We're live again at Lucha Life, and today's guest, we have a very special guest, somebody that's been making quite a story already. He's the one and only Steve Lycan. How are you, Steve? Thank you for being here with us at Lucha Voz, Lucha Life.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Looking forward to this all week.
Brother, thank you for making the time. I know you've been real busy. You got a lot of shows. You got a lot of training. You're somebody that is preparing yourself a lot. And I know you just finished training at the New Japan Academy?
Yeah, the New Japan Academy in Carson, California. I just recently graduated from there. You know, it was a 3 months, 12 weeks of just a grueling course, but I feel like it definitely made me a better professional wrestler overall. You know, with wrestling, the way Dr. Tom explained it to me when I was training with him was different flavors of ice cream. It's all ice cream. Pro wrestling is ice cream, but there's different flavors.
Absolutely.
There's Lucha Libre, there's the Japanese strong style, there's the British wrestling style out there, which is more catch can style. You've got the southern style, which is more, you know, the big hosses, technical wrestling, old school, still a little 80s-ish. There's a different style for everything, which is the different flavors of ice cream. And so, I love ice cream. I love professional wrestling, so I'm going to try every style, every flavor, and make sure that, hey, I'm going to master each and every one of them, because at the end of the day, this is a craft, it's a trade, and I want to be the best there is at it, you know, and that's my goal. It's always been to be the best, you know, not just sports entertainer, but the best professional wrestler.
Absolutely, all 360, right? Professional, and my experience in working with you in Lucha Voz, now that we've been working together for a while, has been I got very good feedback. I got very good feedback. I consider myself to be a very professional person, and I love when talent is professional, right? Because there's very easy to fall into, oh, this is my hobby. Professional wrestling is my hobby. However, that doesn't work, because at the end of the day, it requires a lot of dedication, such as a training, your personal training, your mental training, right? Yeah. What was it that you liked the most out of your training in New Japan, that kind of, like you say, that was a wow effect of opening your eyes?
I think it was very humbling, in that the biggest thing I learned there was learning to be adaptable, because I come from such a different styles. To going over there, learning the Japanese style, it was a complete 180. So it was learning to be uncomfortable, which I think I'm always comfortable being uncomfortable coming from an MMA background and having done theater and having just a lot of experience. I mean, so learning to be uncomfortable and adapting to whatever situation is in front of me. But also, I drove there from Arizona every day we had training. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I would drive out there 6 to 8 hours, train 3 to 4 hours, sometimes even later, and then drive back. And to me, that was, in hindsight, it was a stupid idea because I handicapped myself. There were times where I'd get to practice and like I couldn't move. I physically couldn't move. But I had to push through it, and I feel like mentally that's given me a mental edge. I think that like when you get to the big time, when you get to WWE and you're on the road, you're going to be on the road, you're going to be wrestling. And to me, that was part of the training.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know I can travel X amount of hours on little sleep and still go out there and train and perform. Cool. Because, you know, you've heard guys like Batista and a lot of other wrestlers say like the hardest part is being on the road.
Yeah.
Being on the road because you can't really train for it, you know, and obviously the diet is a big portion of it. That's hard because you got to figure out, where do I eat? Do I get a Chipotle or a Waba Grill where it's all steak,
lettuce
wraps, you know, you got to figure out the way to eat healthy. But just being on the road, I mean, I got long legs, so being in the car like hunched over, I got to learn to be there. So it goes back to being uncomfortable, learning to be uncomfortable, and thriving in that environment. Diamonds are made under pressure, right?
Absolutely. So, and how many weeks was this training?
12 weeks.
12 weeks. So for 12 weeks, you drove from Arizona to LA.
Yeah, essentially LA.
Essentially LA, then back, then forth, and back, then forth, and back. And investing in your career, because trainings are not cheap. Professional trainings are not cheap, right? First of all, putting those hours, investing not only the money for the training, but also investing on the time to get there, to get back. And you were still running shows. Yeah.
The craziest route for me would be Thursday, I would start off in Arizona. I would drive out to New Japan, the academy, train there, and we'd be done, like I said, like 11 at night. Because we also had to clean the gym. That was another part of New Japan, that the discipline.
Yeah.
We had to clean the dojo every day after training. That would mean sweeping and cleaning the mats, cleaning the ropes, cleaning the floor, just doing everything. It was a big learning experience because you don't really see that at a lot of gyms. No. So it was almost like even walking into the gym, you had to clean your shoes. And just the amount of discipline that it instilled in us was just amazing. Like, it's something that you can help but be able to feel. It gave you a sense of like, I'm proud to be here.
And the respect.
That's what I was looking for, respect. But so going back to the route, I would start in Arizona Thursday, probably leave around before the daylight savings. That hurt when they switched to daylight savings because it took an hour away from me. But I would drive, say 11:30 from here. Get to New Japan around 6:30, start training at 7. Finish around 10 or 11, drive back. Stay awake, try to make it back to Arizona around 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., depending on traffic and depending if I wanted to stop and take a nap somewhere. And then I'm not done there. Then it's find whoever I'm traveling with and go to El Paso. Another 8 hours. Wrestle in El Paso and then come back from wrestling in El Paso and then wrestle here in Arizona.
Yep.
And I did that multiple times. So my body never stopped. But again, I pride myself in that because that's part of the training to me. It's not just, it's another part. It's not just the weights. It's not just the diet. It's not just the wrestling. To me, I wanted to be on the road to get a taste of what it was. We don't have the territories the way it was back in the NWA days, where it's a traveling world champion and you had to go here, go there, travel, We've all heard the stories that Jim Cornette tells. Yeah. All those crazy stories. I wanted to experience that as well. I wanted to get just a taste. It's not the same, but I wanted to see what it could be. And the majority of the time I was by myself doing all those trips back and forth to California.
That's a lot of thinking, man.
It's a lot of thinking, and it's, you find out who you are.
Yeah.
Because the thoughts do come in. Why am I doing this? Why is this worth it? And to me, even though the questions would come up, I never second guessed it. This is what I've wanted to do my entire life, is be a professional wrestler, is to do it, and this is sacrifice,
Yeah.
In order to achieve whatever you want to achieve, if it becomes easy, it's not worth it.
Exactly.
But if it's hard and you're grinding and you're clawing your way to reach that goal, yeah, man, that's what I want. And it just instills that passion and that drive. Even coming back to training here in Arizona at the AWF, a lot of the boys were telling me, there's something different about you. There's a hunger. We can tell you were always a little crazy, but now there's something else there.
Yeah.
And it's a different level of intensity. And that's just because I know what it has cost me financially. I know what it's cost me physically, mentally, and emotionally. So now every time I step into the ring, whether it's training, a practice session, or I'm doing a show, working, there's a different level of intensity that I'm bringing in because I know what it has cost me personally. Hell, it's probably even cost me years of my life. I know it's probably done that, the lack of sleep and just all that. But to me, it's worth it because this is what I want to be. This is what I want to do.
Absolutely. And going into the same subject, into the same realm, how has this affected in a positive, negative, and just changed? This positive and negative is such a interpretation, right? Especially with somebody like you, because to work in Lucha Voz and to actually be one of our what I consider one of our core talents, you do have to be a little crazy. All these other guys are also crazy.
Yeah.
We are a little crazy, man. To be running in the shows and we produce and the style that we do with the intensity with what we're doing here today is always a little crazy. This as we're recording this, I can tell what this business brings and how it changes everyone, right? You get what was that saying? You get the bug bite. Something like that. There's a saying.
Once you get the bite and the urge, you want to keep going. You want more.
Exactly.
It's addicting. It's an addictive feeling walking out there, getting your hand raised. You're just hearing the crowd. Cheers, boos. It doesn't matter. There's no other feeling like it. And, whatever it is reaction you're getting, you have impacted the fans. You have given them an emotion. Whether you're going out there and you're just being a complete dick to the kids or to the families or to the adults, and they just want to see you get your comeuppance and they want to see you get beat up, or they just want to see you get ripped apart, or you're out there and you're the Superman for the kids.
Yeah,
we do a lot of charity shows and community shows.
Exactly. We just did Guadalupe.
Yeah, at the car festival, at the cultural expo. And sometimes here's where a lot of guys are in this to be famous and rich and I love the attention.
Yeah.
But whatever your role is in that ring, you see that kid over there, maybe he'll never be able to be at a WrestleMania. He might not. We don't know what their living conditions are. But for that moment, right then and there, you're Superman or you're the biggest villain they've ever seen. But either way, they're going to have that core memory for probably the rest of their life. They're going to see it and they're going to be like, oh, I went with my dad to this lucha show. Remember that guy with the long hair and the face paint? He was awesome. Or, oh man, I just wanted to see him get beat up and I distracted him and he got cheap shotted. And I caused them, those core memories that these kids are going to have for the rest of their lives. And to me, I still remember going to shows, watching that as a kid. And to me, I was crazy. I was crazy even as a kid because that's what I knew I wanted to do. And I just wanted to run in there and be in that ring. So, and as wrestlers, we're nothing without the fans. Without the fans,
Absolutely.
there is no show. There is no nothing. Granted, sometimes the fans are overly vocal and they don't know what they're talking about.
That brings me to a point, a very important point, brother.
Yeah.
Now that you've been through New Japan, you've been through, different styles of training and wrestling here in Arizona, and you're constantly learning. Is anybody training you? Is anybody teaching you? How do you keep Steve sane at the same time a Lycan is getting formed? How do you manage that personal side from that professional side and making sure one thing doesn't cross the other?
I think with me, it's Lycan is an extension of who I am. To me, it's never been a gimmick.
It's not a character.
All the vampire stuff, all the werewolf stuff. I grew up watching that.
Yeah.
Like in California, there's a nightclub called Bar Sinister where it's all just like, it's a vampire nightclub. That's what I go to if I'm in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've been into. That's what I've wanted to do, wanted to be, the darker characters, be it the Crow, Batman, Spawn, all that stuff. Like that, I grew up watching that stuff. Van Helsing, we were talking about that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that's just a core element of my personality. The rock music, heavy metal, the dark imagery, all that stuff. Like I've been into that,
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in the Catholic Church, but as I've grown up older, I've loved learning the outside mysticism of it, the occult side of it,
Absolutely.
the dark part, because there's a lot of history there that like they don't teach you at Sunday school.
Exactly.
There's a lot of stuff that's just fascinating. And to me, like that's what intrigues me. I'm a history nerd, in college, that's what I studied a lot of history. So to me, it's what's the myth? What's this? Why is this? Why are we afraid of the dark and why do we explain it a certain way?
Wow.
Why is Lucifer in some instances an ugly being, but yet in modern interpretation, why is Lucifer glorified? Why do we see vampires and why are we afraid of them at the foundation? They're monsters, but why are we seduced by them?
Yeah,
what
so
is the sex
seductive,
appeal behind them, Why as a culture do we get attracted to the Joker? Why as a culture are we attracted to evil?
Mm-hmm.
And even in things that are objectively evil, we try to make it heroic and even like a tragic hero.
Actually, I was in Monterrey, for a show. I was in Monterrey for a show, and I stopped into. I love to go to the museum. I'm an artist.
Yeah.
I love to go into the Contemporary Museum.
Yeah.
And I have a picture. I'm going to show this picture. Here on the screen of in the Contemporary Museum of Monterrey, Mexico. There was a sign, a piece of art that said Joaquin Phoenix was a hero all along.
Mm-hmm.
That was the art.
Yeah.
That is the art. It's still there. It's still somewhere, right? Joaquin Phoenix. And referring to the Joker. This is all reference to the Joker. And how is the concept of the Joker so idolized and relatable to whatever it is we're living right now in the world? Because that's what wrestling is. That's what entertainment is. It's a reflection.
It's a reflection of society. All art is a reflection of what is going on. The Joker movie scared me because how many of us are just one bad day away from snapping?
Right?
All it takes is just one bad day, one decision. You know?
One bad show, if they don't go support me and I don't get enough people in the door, I'm
Right.
like, one day, I'm like, man, one ticket away from snapping.
Right. You're in the ring and it's just, you're just frustrated with your opponent and you go grab the chair. You go grab the foreign object, you go do something, and bam, you snap on your opponent. You just snap. And like you said, going back to...
I've seen it. I've seen it with professional wrestlers. I've seen it with AAA guys in person.
Right.
I've seen it when they just snap. In some of our shows, we had that happen. I'm not going to bring up no names, but we had wrestlers that one of them just snapped, the other one snapped, and they just, we had to intervene because we couldn't pull them apart. It turned into a real street fight.
Oh, yeah.
So one action away from becoming that, right?
Yeah, from just going crazy. But I feel that with me, I've been exposed to so many bad days, and just trying to keep it controlled. That there's a phrase, when you stare into the abyss stares back. I feel like when the abyss stares back, a lot of people blink.
A lot of people flinch.
I didn't blink. I just kept staring. And I think that's the big difference between Lycan versus a lot of other wrestlers. Whereas, I know why I'm wrestling. I know how I'm wrestling. And I know that this is what I want to do. And I know that whatever it takes to do, I'm going to do to be successful in this business, in this industry. Professional wrestling doesn't know anybody anything. It is a cruel mistress. It is the love of my life, but it has broken my heart more times than I can count. And I will continue returning to pro wrestling because it is the love of my life. As crazy as it makes me sound, as crazy as it hurts me like mental health, my emotional health, my physical health. I mean, granted, my chiropractor is going to get an early retirement because of me. How many times I visit him. Shout out to Dr. Sam.
Dr. Sam, thank you for keeping him good.
Right, but going back to it, like you said something, it's a reflection of society. Pro wrestling is society. You look at who the hero is at the time.
Yeah.
You look at a post 9/11 world, you got John Cena. You look at a Reagan era, you got Hulk Hogan. You got something grunge style, like almost like rebelling against authority. You got Stone Cold Steve Austin. Right. And then you need someone that's almost a combination of all of it, but you need him to be that guy that's just going to draw it. You got Roman Reigns. You got Seth Rollins. You need the lunatic that goes out and ventures off on his own and helps with another company. You got John Moxley, Dean Ambrose.
Well, let's talk about the Hardys, man.
Yeah.
At the time of that era, right, in history, it was grunge. It was a transformational phase, right?
Yeah.
It was grunge, the music, the alternative rock, the skater feel, industrial.
Yeah.
That's drum and bass, like the music scene, right? Drum and bass was picking up. All this stuff, and the Hardy Boys was a personification of youth at the time in the ring.
Yeah, they were just the coolest things you'd ever seen.
It was the coolest thing the craziest, coolest things you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Nowadays we see a lot of acrobatics in the ring and things like that. Especially Lucha has always been like that. The technicals, they always done a lot of stunts. I think we see a lot of it now. But talking about the extreme stuff and the dangerous stuff, it was, man, there was probably more history to it. But what comes to me personally was the Hardys. That was, man, I was fascinated.
Yeah, because you can relate to them. Because you wanted to be them. I mean, Matt Hardy had the beautiful girl with him, Lita, but Lita was covered in tattoos, which is different.
A bad girl.
Yeah. Right. You see that, and then you see Jeff, rainbow hair and all, like just dressed like he just walked out of a Marilyn Manson like outfit or something, and it's just super cool, and that resonated, and like you said, the Hardys, amazing.
No, that was such a beautiful example of what wrestling actually is, right? In all styles, and we have examples of that in all styles. In Mexican wrestling, we had the Rey Mysterio, right? Well, Rey Mysterio kind of boomed over here in the U.S. He was already doing great in Mexico. The big idols in Mexico, such as Negro Casas. When I was growing up, it was like Negro Casas, Abismo Negro, Atlantis, and at the same time, all these things, all these different pots were starting to boil to the point where it overflowed and became one now, thanks to globalization, social media, and now, man, the first time that I heard that, oh, Luchador is going to New Japan, I was like, wow, to Japan to wrestle. Japanese wrestlers starting to come over here. Now you will see him on TV, you will see him in shows. You start, and now it's like a big melting pot, right? Of styles.
It's everywhere. Like it's, you know,
it infused with UFC now, right? It infused, like UFC, man, I love UFC. You know, I love MMA. And the influence that MMA has had in today's generation of wrestlers is impressive.
Yeah, well, not just the influence that pro wrestling has had. That MMA has had on pro wrestling, but the influence that pro wrestling has had in MMA. Mm-hmm. And the biggest example, Chael Sonnen.
No, exactly.
Chael Sonnen, word for word, has taken promos from pro wrestling and made them his own. But to me, my favorite buildup of all time was him and Anderson Silva. Yeah, because you would watch
that was a really good build-up.
Yeah, to both of those fights, and you'd see it, and you're just like, my God, this guy is entertaining. Who the hell is this crazy son of a gun from Oregon? You know, and then everything he said, he meant though. One of my favorite things that he ever said was, "I grew up in the mean streets of Westland, Oregon. Do you know what it's like to watch a man jaywalk in front of a cop, and the cop does nothing? Do you know what it's like to watch a man litter on the streets in front of a police officer, and the police officer just walks on by? The streets were chaotic."
Yeah.
Come on, man, that is gold. But he meant it, and he said it in such a way that you're like, wait, what? You know? So professional wrestling has definitely, you know, even in NFL, you see guys doing the poses. You see guys doing the Randy Orton pose.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll celebrate just like a professional wrestler. Like, professional wrestling is the most beautiful form of art because it imitates life, because it is life.
Yeah.
If you want to watch something that's like what's going on in the world, watch professional wrestling. Look what's going on in professional wrestling. It's an escape from real life as much as it is a reflection of real life.
Yeah.
You know?
And for everyone involved, right? The reason I love producing wrestling shows and bringing different elements, right? We've been highly criticized because it's like, well, are you a lucha show? Are you like wrestling? And really what Lucha Voz is a combination according to whatever production we are presenting, right? Whatever we're following through, whatever, you know, matches we have. You know, you were there for Dia de los Muertos, you know, Dia de los Muertos, the biggest, what has become the biggest.
I don't think I was there for that one.
You weren't there for that one?
I was out of state for that one.
Oh, you were supposed to be here for that one.
Yeah, conflict scheduling, but I wasn't there for that one.
I
saw it. I saw the production. I saw everything that was awesome. I was like, man, I wish I could have been there.
Well, as an example, right? As an example, we had the main event, right? We have the Lucha Voz Ultra Championship. And Black Taurus has been our champion for about 2 years now. Mortus Beast, due to the name and all that politics that happens with names and stuff.
That's wrestling.
Mortus Beast was our champion, Ultra champion. You cannot even qualify for that championship unless you've already been in a major company. Wow. So the first champion was Niebla Roja from Consejo Mundial. That was the first champion. Then he defended the title greatly versus many like high-end opponents. Extreme Tiger takes the championship away. And we're talking about Extreme Tiger, freaking legend, man. He was, I mean, he's been on this for many years, and he just did another tour in Japan.
Right.
He just came back from Japan, right? One of the most humblest, best human beings I've ever met in my life, Extreme Tiger. He comes back and he takes it away from Niebla, and then he had some great matches through with a belt. That's when the Crash in Tijuana boomed. You know, the Crash became such a big promotion, and you know, big shout out to everyone out there. Then the next champion was Black Taurus. Black Taurus wins the championship in Vegas, man. We used to tour and do 29 dates a year.
Really?
Yeah, 20 nights a year. COVID kind of put a little hump on that for now, but we're trying to recover that way. Black Taurus gets the championship. He defends his championship versus many great opponents. And for almost a year, he's been our champion. En Dia de los Muertos, it's Alexander Hammerstone versus Penta Cero Miedo versus Black Taurus in a triple threat championship, triple threat. Brother, Alexander Hammerstone came in dominating. It was such a great match. It was, I mean, that's a beautiful thing about small promotions. We had TNA in the house. Now TNA. Back then it was still part of MLW. Right. We had, Impact, which Black Taurus was part of Impact and AAA and everything. Yeah. And AEW all in one match, in one ring, in a Dia de los Muertos festival. Right? You think, would he ever see a Lycan come in and become an opponent for the Lucha Voz Ultra Championship?
My mindset is not to be an opponent for the Lucha Voz Championship. My mindset is to be the Lucha Ultra Champion. I want, everywhere I go, the goal is to be the world champion. I'm a competitor. I'm a super competitive person. If we're walking, I have to be walking faster than you. If we're doing whatever the most minuscule task, even at work, like when I have to do like side jobs or whatever and I have to shovel, I have to be the fastest shoveler. I have to get the bigger pile. That's who I am as a person. I have to win. I'm hardwired to win. I'm hardwired to do that. I'm not afraid to lose, because in losing and failure, that is your best teacher. So that is what it is. But in saying that, I'm always trying to win. That is the ultimate goal. Whether it is, if you're not here to be the best, you are wasting my time. You're wasting your time. You're wasting the promoter's time. You are wasting the fans' time. If you're not here to be the best, if you're not seeing that championship and that is not on your mind 24/7, whatever it takes to get that belt, whether it is win a tournament, beat whoever it is, become number one contender, do what it is, or backstab a partner, backstab someone, cash in the money in the bank, do something to be that world champion. What are you doing here? That should be the goal. That is my goal. That is the way I see it. There's gold, I want it. If there's if there's the biggest opponent in front of me, I want to wrestle him and take him out, because I want to test myself, what I'm made of. I want to see how I am as an athlete, as a competitor, and I want the best in front of me, and I just want to go out there and beat them. 1, 2, 3, at their own skill. If they're luchadors, cool, I want to out-lucha them. If it's Japanese strong style, I want to out-Japanese strong style them. I want to show them the way of the warrior. I want to show myself the way of the warrior. If I got to go do a different style, say I got to go to Puerto Rico, if I got to go to Mexico, if I got to go to Tennessee, if I got to go to Florida, if I got to go to Georgia, like I am going later this month, I want to beat everyone there. I want everyone to see, hey, that Lycan guy, I'm going to keep my eyes on him, because that guy is the future. That Lycan dude, okay, I don't know what it is about him, but I'm going to watch. I'm going to follow his Instagram account. Look at his story. There's something different about him. And that, to me, whatever fans think of me, whatever they say, cool. But they're going to remember me. I'm going to live rent-free in their mind. Good or bad, they're going to know who L. Lycan is. They may not hit, it's like the whole Johnny Depp thing. Might be the worst pirate I've ever heard of, but you have heard of me. Not that I'm the worst, but I am the best.
Exactly.
And they're going to hear that. Regardless, I want,
Georgia.
Yeah.
Georgia, you going to Georgia?
Yeah, Marietta, Georgia, American Warrior Wrestling Alliance, May 25th.
May 25th. That's just right around the corner.
Yeah, right around the corner. And I'm wrestling the former Lucha Underground World Champion, Martin Casaus. Marty the Moth.
Marty the Moth.
Yes.
Wow. This is such a great opportunity on your career.
Oh, yeah.
Especially after all the training and preparedness and everything that you have been building up, to prove yourself I mean, what an opponent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Martin is very versatile.
Very.
He's a dangerous opponent.
Oh, 100%. He's a dangerous opponent, and that's why I want him. He is well traveled. He is experienced. He has seen things. He's been places that I've wanted to be at. I would have loved to have wrestled at the temple, right there in California. What's it called in California?
Yeah.
The name escapes me, but I wanted to be there.
In Lucha Underground.
At Lucha Underground, I would have loved to have been able to walk in there, you know. And he's been there. He has been there, and like I said, have you seen that guy? The physique on him.
Yeah, no.
That guy he's built like a shit brick house. And he is going to hit me hard, and I am looking forward to that because then I'm going to hit him hard right back.
Wow.
You know, he is intense as intense comes. Not just as a wrestler, even as a human being, he has that intensity. And I'm going to match it, and I'm going to surpass it. Because, you know, you rise to the occasion. The bigger the challenge, the more you have to put your big boy boots on and wrestle and go out there and show the world, show yourself, and show everybody that you belong in there with the best of the world. And to me, it all starts with Martin Casaus. You know, with all the respect.
This is just the beginning.
It's just the beginning for Lycan. You know, right? 100%.
This definitely, you're gonna set your foot on the industry in Georgia, May 25th, with facing one of the strongest opponents in the industry, right? Martin, I think Martin personally, and you know, God love America, because you know, God bless America, because we're able to say anything we want. And to me, Martin has been one of the highest underrated wrestlers.
Oh, 100%.
You know, highest underrated wrestlers, and to all the respect and all the talent out there. But brother, Martin is a strong appointment, full of experience, you know, full of training, hands down a powerful opponent.
Oh, yeah.
How are you preparing yourself for this match?
Man, I'm training now every day, one way or another. Whether I'm in the ring doing pro wrestling training, or I'm at Legion MMA training MMA or kickboxing or jiu-jitsu, whatever I need to do in there. If in the mornings I'm running through the desert like I always have. Whether it was for an MMA fight or high school wrestling or whatever it was, I just ran through the desert. Because it's you in the desert. There's no one out there to save you. The weight training. Started adding yoga into the mix just to get flexible and agile. I mean, last time you saw me last time I was probably 220. And the time before that was 230. I'm 210 right now, lean, muscle, steel, and sex appeal. I'm faster, but I'm still as strong as I was at 230. I still have the size I was at 230, but I've leaned out. You know, this is the Rocky 3 moment for me, where it's like, okay, look at how shredded he is, look at what he's doing. And I want that. I want that match to show a reflection of all the hard work. Everything that I've done, everything since January, going to New Japan, training out there, coming back here, training out here, all the countless miles I have put in my car, just traveling state to state to state. This match means the world to me. And I'm going to hit Martin Casaus with everything that I have and then some. If I have to hit him with the kitchen sink, I will. You know, because I know he's going to do the same to me. And that is exciting. And then plus, I get to do it out of state. I get to travel. How many wrestlers in the indie scene could say, oh yeah, I'm traveling? You know, I know that I'm being blessed. I know that this opportunity, I'm not taking it for granted. So every opportunity given to me, I'm going to knock the door down and I'm going to say, hey world, here I am.
And now in Georgia with, where is the show at?
It is in Marietta for American Warrior Wrestling Alliance.
American Warrior Wrestling Alliance.
Yes.
So big props and a lot of recognition to American Warrior Wrestling Alliance for putting up, such a high quality show together, for giving you that opportunity, putting that trust. Because at the end of the day, you and Martin, you're going in there, and you have in your shoulders the trust of everyone that's supporting you, everyone that believes in you, and American Warrior Alliance trust for you to be a competitive opponent towards such a talent.
Right.
So that's a big weight on shoulders.
That's fine. Pressure is what makes us. Am I gonna fold? No. It's just gonna make me better. I am fully aware that Martin can beat me. It's just like walking into a boxing fighter cage. The other guy can 100% knock you out.
Mm-hmm.
I respect Martin. I got that. But in my heart of hearts, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna give him hell. And I'm gonna use every style that I got, whether it be Lucha Libre, the New Japan Strong Style, Dr. Tom's old school training, LT's modern wrestling, Jay Garland's style, CC style. Because I've trained all over Arizona as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have a melting pot of just different styles in me that I'm going to throw at him. Because how can he prepare for someone who has so many styles that I don't even know what I'm going to do? How can you prepare for that? Because he might be expecting, a lot of forms, a lot of, New Japan stuff, but then I got him, I'm working his arm and key locking him, and he can't go anywhere now. I'm throwing him off, and then out of nowhere, something off the top rope. How do you prepare for someone like me? Not only that, he's a big boy, but I know I can ragdoll him as well. He's got the lucha style, but I'm fast as well, and I don't get tired.
That conditioning.
It's the conditioning. I trust my conditioning. I have faith in the amount of work I've put my body through. So I am looking forward to that match. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be interesting what the beginning of this story, right? And we're privileged to be talking about this right now because one day, this story, this podcast, this video, this interview right here in Lucha Life with DJ Vols is gonna be in a documentary.
Oh yeah.
This is gonna be in a documentary. We're not at ground zero, because ground zero, man, you have to set up ground zero. We're like literally at the beginning of the story for Lycan.
Mm-hmm.
This is just the beginning.
Oh, it's just the beginning. I'm just getting started, And then, like I said, not just Georgia. I'm going back to Texas next Friday. Wrestling for Pro Wrestling Legacy, the Lone Star title. That's on the line. Fatal 4-way, against three other upstarters,
Mm-hmm.
Chuy Gonzalez, Cosmo Ryan, Jimo Kaminari. All three of those guys are future world champions. All three of those guys are great. But I'm still going to run through them. I fully expect them to beat me within an inch of my life because that's what I'm going to do to them,
Mm-hmm.
And all three of them are different styles. Chewy's a powerhouse. Cosmo is a great blend of everything. And Jimo is like Speedy Gonzalez. You can't catch the kid. But it doesn't matter. It's a fatal 4-way. I just have to catch one of them.
Out of your trainers so far, which you have a good arsenal of trainers. We're talking about LT, man, but much love to LT. Very grateful for what LT has done for Lucha Voz. I can't even begin to explain. And the people he's training, he trained a lot of the new talent that is up there and kicking ass right now.
Right.
Out of your trainers, who would you say has been the one that has impacted your life, your perspective, your business, your brand the most?
Man, there's like 7 trainers in there. How about I give you something for each of them?
Sure.
LT has affected me personally the most in that I'm around him the most out of all my trainers. And not just that, his personality is not for everybody. His style is not for everybody. But he is extremely realistic with what the world is. He's an extreme nihilist sometimes, where it's like, dude, just be happy, smile. But at the same time, too, he's prepared us for the worst. Because this business is unforgiving, and you brought up politics earlier. He's prepared us for that. He's prepared us for worst case scenarios in the ring. He's prepared us for worst case scenario traveling, how to deal with people, that psychology part of it. So LT, I owe the world to him as well. Moving on, Arizona, Jay Garland and CC Star, psychology. CC Star is, we talked about Martin Casaus being an underrated talent, and like best. CC Star is one of the best kept secrets in Arizona. That man has such a way with psychology that man, without getting in the ring, is able to train me mentally, you know. And Jay Garland has just, you know, he just has a way with techniques, and he knows what he's talking about psychology wise. So those two working in unison, fantastic. We go to my first trainer that I went with, Dr. Tom Pritchard. His style, very old school style, but with him it's the basics, never go out of style. Great at psychology, but with him it's here's what wrestling was, here's what wrestling is, and here's how wrestling will continue to be. The different flavors of ice cream analogy I brought up earlier, that's him. He also brought up be adaptable wherever you go. Because with him it was like, okay, we're going to do it my way, but when you go somewhere else, do it their way. Be respectful. Be kind, be polite, but be aggressive when you need to be. Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. And I owe so much to Dr. Tom and the Jacobs Pritchard's Wrestling Academy in Tennessee, because it was a learning experience, not just in wrestling, but also personality, culture, just everything's different out there. And I can't wait to go back and train with them. And under them, Dr. Tom had his assistant, Jamal. That man was great with the camera. I'm sure you've seen all the stuff I post on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I am very picky with my photos. I'm very selective with them because Jamal taught me social media. He taught me the photography and the video aspect of that. So with Dr. Tom and Jamal right there, that was a great foundation for my wrestling. Moving on to Fred Roser, Kushida, and Shane Haste. I'm going to throw you in there because you were in there a lot. For New Japan, Fred Roser prepared us. Hey, here's how intense it's going to be for a WWE tryout, but here's how you have to learn and adapt for New Japan and the Japanese style as well. Kushida helped me so much blending my MMA background into the pro wrestling part of it, where now it's just seamless. Before, if I had been hesitant, I don't know if this will work here, Kushida brought that to the limelight. You know, and then Fred Roser, you know, yeah, I can't say enough good things about him. And he was also trained by Dr. Tom. So he would say a lot of things about him, and he would call himself the Black Mr. Miyagi, the Black Dr. Tom. And he is every bit of that. The knowledge that man has, you know, like, God, like just listening to him talk, there's some things that he would pull, and he would go above and beyond to make sure that we were ready, you know. He would put up the Young Lion playbook. He would watch matches with us. He would set up things on the board and like just quotes and like, here's this and that, here's why, here's this. And like you mentioned the luchadors that you used to watch back in the day. Mm-hmm. And he told us a quote from William Regal, Fred Roser did, was don't just, or no, it might have been Dr. Tom, but I know Fred Roser and I talked about it. It was, don't just copy your heroes. Don't just try to be your heroes. Be what made them heroes to you.
Wow.
In that, you know, look at my style. I know I dress a lot like Vampiro. I get the comparisons a lot. But it's not just about dressing like Vampiro. It's why. It's the why. Why did Vampiro have an impact on me? Why am I going to have an impact on the youth, on fans, on wrestlers, on women, on men, on whoever? Why? I can put on a mask, I can do whatever it was, but what's the why? Why? And Fred Rosser talked to us about all of that. Why are you doing what you're doing? What makes sense? And then from Shane Hayes, big boy, I learned how to be a big man in the ring and how to throw punches and tag team psychology. How to put a tag team match together in the Japanese style, how to put a tag team match in the American style. You know, he was trained by Harley Race. So it was fun picking his brain on that old school style. And just, you know, the dude's a big nerd, so just talking to him just came naturally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but like just talking to him about like, hey man, what's your philosophies on deadlifts? What supplements are you on? Why are you taking these supplements? Why are you training this way? How do I get as big as you? You know, and eventually, like, you know, those are the big trainers I've had so far. And I've had seminars with Brian Kendrick, and then I've had seminars with Martin Stone. He was in NXT for a while. He was, you know, British hardstyle. I've done that. So, you know, and I've trained here on the side with a bunch of other guys as well. You know, there's just a long list of names. But that's because I'm a student. You know, I don't consider myself a master. I don't consider myself, you know, a teacher by any means. I am not there yet. I don't know if I ever will be there. But in the meantime, I want to learn from as many people as I can. Because the more I can learn, the better I have. If, you know, there's always going to be a language barrier sometimes. Some of the guys from Mexico, like, their Mexican dialect is different than my Spanish. And I know that sometimes we're going to have a hard time communicating. But if I know how to wrestle their style.
Yep. It's a universal language.
It's a universal language.
No, absolutely.
If I go in there with a man from Japan that doesn't speak English or Spanish, it's a universal language. Professional wrestling is so universal on this planet that it brings people together. It doesn't matter your culture, it doesn't matter your ethnicity, it doesn't matter where you come from. If you sit down and watch professional wrestling and the wrestlers are professional, you are going to sit down, watch, and be engaged.
And understand.
And understand what is going on.
That was very well demonstrated now on our last show, right? And I want to thank you because you have always supported me in the community events and everything that I try to do for the community, not only here in Phoenix, but even in other parts whenever I'm able to help. So I do want to take this opportunity to thank you for always supporting our community events. And I did see such a huge growth in this last match that we had at the Guadalupe car show with Aguila Azteca, which is somebody that has definitely stepped up his game a lot on the last few years. I've seen the guy grow from the ground up. He developed his character, his skills, and everything. And to start off first in the community event part and everything that you do for the community, you're always available. You make yourself available to be there for the people. Where does that come from?
There's a phrase, sic parvis magma. Greatness from small beginnings. I know where I came from. I didn't come from money. I know my humble beginnings. I know everything it took to get here. So if I can give back to the community, why not? That's one of Arnold's rules. Arnold would say, give back to the community because you didn't do this on your own. Mm-hmm. You can say you're self-made. You can say you did it on your own. It's bullshit. It's a lie. You got here because someone gave you the opportunity. You got here because of fans, whether they booed you, whether they cheered you, whether they wanted to see you dead in the ring. You're there because of them. There is no society without community. There is no leadership without community. There is no show. There is no Vaz. There is no Lucha Libre without community.
Amen.
So why not? A lot of guys will say, oh, I'm too good for this. I'm too good for that. Or no, it doesn't. No. You have to start somewhere. and you have to grow with it. And that's how the people know you. Because you don't know. And then again, I'm going to go back to Dr. Tom. Because that guy is like Master Yoda. That guy has more phrases and sayings than like Google itself. When you go digging for gold, you don't know where you're going to find it. You can sand out the dirt, you can find it, but somewhere along the line, eventually you're going to find gold. And if that means me going, to Colorado and completely failing over there, cool. But then I might go to Texas and find gold over there. It can mean going here and there. Why not? Leave no stone unturned. And that is where I am. And I'm sure you hear it in my voice right now, the craziness coming out, just everything that professional wrestling means to me. Mm-hmm. And like, to me, this isn't the Lycan stuff. It's not a gimmick. Because right now, you put me in a ring with anybody, I will go rip them apart. I will tear them apart. I will out-cardio them. I will out-strength them. I will outlast them. And this, the face paint, the imagery, that's just an added bonus because you're going to remember El Lycan.
What would you like to say to Aguila as we promised to all the people? Over 9,000 people showed up to the Guadalupe car show. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest turnouts that we've had in the last few years. Big shout out to Miguel Alvarado, to the pueblo, a todo el pueblo, to everybody that participated on that community event and making this happen. Brother, what would you say right now to Aguila Azteca, and the rematch that we promised at the Guadalupe town?
Aguila, come ready, because I'm going to clip your wings. I'm going to rip your mask apart. I'm going to tear your body apart. You're a great competitor. I'm not taking that away from you. Hell, you're a veteran of mine. I've seen you as I came up through this ranks, as I came up through these trenches. But Aguila, you're facing a new and improved Lycan. Look into my eyes, hear my voice. Aguila, for as good as you are, I am simply better. And I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show it to the people at Lucha Libre Voz. I'm going to show it to everyone around the world. And I don't want to say you're a stepping stone because I respect you too much. But it's Lycan time. You're in Lycan territory now. And when you and I meet in that ring, it's going to be me winning 1, 2, 3, or I'm going to put you to sleep with some submission. I have a lot of tricks up my sleeve that none of you have seen yet. There is so much. And like Oz was saying earlier, this is just the beginning.
Ladies and gentlemen from Lucha Life, thank you very much for tuning in. And thank you very much for Steve Lycan for being here with us, for sharing the story, for allowing us to be part of his journey, which we're going to follow. There's still a lot more to come. There's still a lot more to come.
Also, just to give a shout out for this one, Poor. Sergio, I didn't forget about you guys. May 19th, Lucha Libre Poor Promotions. I will be in tag team action in that match as well. I will open the show with my partner, Rick Maverick. So, come watch that one here in Arizona.
That's right. Lucha Libre Poor, May 19th, Mayo 19. You can't miss it. Great card. El Lycan will be present. We'll be giving you guys the first impression, the expectations of wrestling on his match. Very high bar to set from the beginning of the show. And believe me, the beautiful thing now about the way that Sergio Voz, We Old Run shows is you don't want to miss a single match because you've been missing the greatness of wrestling throughout. So, May 19th, Mayo 19, bullshitters, Bull shooters. I'm sorry.
Bull shooters, where did that come from, man? Come on, the venue. It's probably one of the best venues we've had here in Arizona. Come on, bro.
Exactly.
Come on, brother. They
Bull
got beer,
shooters.
pizza, everything fun for the whole family. If you're an
Everything.
adult, if you're a kid, just come on out.
Talking about venues, brother. Bull shooters, it's literally becoming real fast in a few months the wrestling spot. And we want to thank you from the whole wrestling scene and lucha scene for being there for us and allowing us and helping us through these shows as we nurture the next generation of professional talent. And there's a lot more to come.
Oh, yeah.
Brother, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Can't wait to see. We are going to have soon a press conference to talk about a rematch with Aguila. We got to hear from both stories, see what everybody's got to say.
All right.
So hope to see you there.
I'll see you there. I'll be there.
You know, this is where everyone gets it wrong.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Awesome.
Lucha Voz is not a company. Lucha Voz is not a promotion. Lucha Voz is not just a show. Lucha Voz, it's an ideal. Lucha Voz, it's a dream. Lucha Voz, it's a goal. Lucha Voz, it's a heritage. Lucha Voz is cultura. Lucha Voz is our people. Lucha Voz is our wrestler, our family. Lucha Voz is our dreams. Lucha Voz is a journey of looking up to the sky and realizing that there is no limit, that you can go toe to toe with the big dog and come out on top, that it can happen, that it will happen, show by show, city by city, fan by fan, match by match.
Oh, that was a good match.
Every single wrestler, every single championship, every single performance, every single experience, every single cheer from the crowd. We are Lucha Libre Voz. So join us on this journey. Follow us on social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and be part of this experience. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm DJ Voz from Lucha Voz. And we are the Lucha Voz experience.
Guys, appreciate it. Thanks. Awesome.
I swear to God, I did it, bro. So don't just let me get it.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm gone, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the one to get it, bro. I swear to God, I'll get it, bro. Hey, I ain't never giving up. Yeah, I never give up. I got this and I got it. I will not quit, I'm on it. Never rock it. Got the block lit, I'm toxic. Spitting logic, make them nauseous. Honest, can I stop this? Never cautious, drop it. I'm the hardest. Rock, bitch, watch it. I'm the king of rock, bitch. Profit, spitting hot shit. I'm dropping, chronic. I think I'm fucking lost it. Back, matter of fact, making racks where it's at. At my back to the mat, not an act, that's a fact. We attack in a back, no react, no react. Think I'm black off his back, while I'm rap, bounce a step.
You know, this is where everyone gets it wrong.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Awesome.
Lucha Voz is not a company. Lucha Voz is not a promotion. Lucha Voz is not just a show. Lucha Voz, it's an ideal. Lucha Voz, it's a dream. Lucha Voz, it's a goal. Lucha Voz, it's a heritage. Lucha Voz is cultura. Lucha Voz is our people. Lucha Voz is our wrestler, our family. Lucha Voz is our dreams. Lucha Voz is a journey of looking up to the sky and realizing that there is no limit, that you can go toe to toe with the big dog and come out on top, that it can happen, that it will happen, show by show, city by city, fan by fan, match by match.
Oh, that was a good match.
Every single wrestler, every single championship, every single performance, every single experience, every single cheer from the crowd. We are Lucha Libre Voz. So join us on this journey. Follow us on social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and be part of this experience. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm DJ Voz from Lucha Voz, and we are the Lucha Voz experience.
Guys, appreciate it. Thanks, awesome.
I swear to God I get it, bro. So don't just let me get it.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna get it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the one to get it, bro. I swear to God I'll get it, bro. Hey, I ain't never giving up. Said I never give up. I got this, and I got it. I will not quit, I'm on it. Never off it. Got the block lit, I'm toxic. Spitting logic, make them nauseous. Honest, can I stop this? Never cautious, drop it. I'm the hardest. Rock, bitch, watch it. I'm the king of rock, bitch. Profit, spitting hot shit. I'm dropping, chronic. I think I'm fucking lost it. Back, matter of fact, making racks where it's at. Had my back to the mat, not an act, that's a fact.